There's a total of 7.5 hours of footage. My eyes hurt looking at myself. But at least I got to look at my beautiful cast and crew. Let's bring them up right now. Or don't like public speaking, you can either stay back there or just look really nice on stage.
We'll bring the mic to you then.
Yeah. But I just wanted to say, first of all, it's just crazy that we get to do this type of thing. I know, like, you know, the whole band and crew and I, we've played so many shows around, like, the world. And to do something in our backyard where it's not music, it's like this weird multimedia thing that we made, and we get to celebrate it with people like you. It's truly an honor, and I just want to say thank you, because we could not have done it without you guys. So give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you. Sorry, we don't have seats for everyone, so you're going to have to fight amongst yourselves. This whole project started back in January of 2024, and right after Nisei Mono, the previous EP, I just had a faint LaCroix whisper of a flavor and of an idea about what if there was like what if Ginger made like a TV station? That was the whole beginning of this idea. And for a while I was writing the music, I thought about, well, okay, if the TV station has a bunch of different shows, like maybe the whole album is just all the different shows. And that was too difficult. So we decided, well, what about if like the story is Ginger makes their own TV station, and it's like the story about that. We watched UHF by Weird Al.
Yeah.
We watched Turtles Are Surprisingly Fast Swimmers, a Japanese film from the 90s, also very big inspiration. And yeah, I don't know.
They also put together a playlist of Japanese commercials and Japanese
I was
media.
educating him on that good stuff.
I had to download.
Yeah, he had to download it. But anyway, we are gonna take some questions from you guys. Hopefully at least we have 3 questions. Otherwise that would be embarrassing.
I just want to say something really short.
Okay, David wants, Dave, go.
Thank you all for being here. It's a huge pleasure to share this stage with everyone here. And I can't, how many of you are in the arts at all in some degree? Raise your hand. You guys all know that it takes a person with an idea, and it takes a person that's creative, and then as Better Than Monday taught us, it takes a village to make it happen. And from the bottom of my heart, everyone here, thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for making it happen. We could not have done it without you. A lot of us go back to high school. A lot of us, I was some of their teacher, and we've made friends along the way. This is Cameron's neighbor. I've lived next to this guy for 18 years. And you know what's funny? Not to interrupt. He taught me my first song on guitar, Smoke on the Water. Are Ginger Root fans that have become part of the family, such as Alex and Kevin, and even Nana was a Ginger Root fan from the beginning and interviewed. There's just an amazing array of people here. They all need work right now, so guys,
They really do.
But anyways, thank you all for being a part of this. Thank you, Cameron, for including me over the last 8 years of doing stuff. It's always been a dream of mine to help tell stories and spread a good message. And Shinbangumi to me is about exactly what all this is working together to get something done. You can't do it alone. You got to do it with your friends and family, guys. I just want to remind you of that. So thank you, everyone who's here. I appreciate it. And all right, carry on now.
Thank you, David. I'm not one for emotionally charged speeches off.
That's my job.
I know. So do you see why we're a really good team when you're watching the behind the scenes? The only thing that I will say is that, like, David and I spent so much time with each other that we just stopped speaking normal words. Like we had one brain. We'd be on set or he'd be at the studio and I'd be like, he's like, yep. And I was like, yeah, and it's gotta like, he's like, yeah, go. And I'm like, yeah.
I remember when you were like, all right, this time I want to try something different. And I was like, miniatures?
And I was like, yes. No, literally, yeah, he like read my mind. And then I was like, wouldn't it be really cool if we filmed in Japan? I was like, yeah.
Yeah, it's really interesting actually hearing what they actually said in Japanese.
Oh, he had no, I
had
was
no idea what was going
sorry,
on.
can I just say it was so stressful because like I'm still learning Japanese, but having to direct and we do this whole logistics thing in a second language where I had no idea, and then this, like what would happen is like, they'd be like, okay, we're gonna light for the next scene. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And you'd be like, dude, we have to light for the next scene. I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, they just said that. But you were a trooper, and we learned a lot.
All right, how do you want to do these questions?
There's a mic on that side, and there's a mic on that side. Feel free to stop on down there and say your questions for anyone part of the crew. Again, we're only looking for 3. If there's more than 3, that's awesome. If there's less than 3, you
there with the Polaroid. State your name.
I'm Dan.
Dan, what's your business?
I don't know if this microphone's on. Oh, wait, there we go. All right, I have kind of a mix of a production question and I don't know, like a vision question. I've been a long-time Ginger Root fan from the early records, from, the EPs, the singles and whatnot, and there was a huge jump in vision, I'd say, from Mahjong Room to Ricky to City Slicker to Semino and here with Shinbangumi, and I just wanted a kind of a peek inside your minds, and how did you, I guess, take those steps of increasing the scope artistically and visually from then to now?
Yeah, good question. Basically, everyone up here knows that the reason why Ginger Root's a thing is because I just love making things. I love making things for no one to see. I love making things for my friends to see, and now for you guys to experience. And I think every time I do something, I have this very toxic trait of being like, oh, what if it was like bigger? And honestly, and frankly, to be completely honest too, it was just like the natural progression of a lot of things worked with City Slicker and a lot of things didn't. And we wanted to be like, okay, for Nisei Mono, what can we do that worked, but how can we change the things that didn't work? And I think Shinbangumi, personally, this is the first time I've seen it for a while, I realized that there's a lot of mistakes that I'm not proud of. But that's okay, because I look at those, and the next project, whenever it is, I don't know when I'm gonna make it, the next project, hopefully we would all learn how to combat that better. So not just like tenacity, but aesthetics-wise too, it's always just, you know, finding things that you're just enamored by and writing love letters back to the things that helped you through tough times. And I think a lot of the things in Shinbangumi and everything in Ginger Root is that type of love letter. David?
To be more like just really specific, every music video always had what we thought was an impossible task. So every music video that we made, there would be like, okay, we're used to this stuff, but now how are we gonna do this one thing? And I feel like Shinbangumi is a culmination of all those things that we thought were impossible. I think of Loneliness, for example.
The plane.
Exactly. There was this thing where Cameron showed me this clip where, what's the artist's name?
Matsuda Seiko flies in directly from a flight, and she gets off a Boeing 747, and she's on live TV. They're like, sing your song! And she had to do it like on the tarmac, and we wanted to reference that.
You were like, I want to do that, and I was like, we gotta get a plane.
You're like, you're crazy.
Yeah,
but I quit.
That was the impossible task of Loneliness. Is like, how do we get a plane? How do we get that location? How do we do that? My experience is like, I was a first AD for like 9 years and all kinds of things. So I understand how like to make things. But like to do it at this scale, at this level, it was really a really big challenge. We literally had like no money, and like we just had to meet people and talk to them. And so every music video, if you watch from Ohio, which is the first music video we made, every single one has an extra little step to it, and they just kind of get bigger and bigger. And like the worst part about filmmaking is that you just got to suck at it like over and over again. and then you like realize like, okay, like I'm not gonna suck that much this time, I'm gonna keep going. So you just gotta kind of slowly pick yourself back up and keep going, and you'll end up with something like that.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm very scared. I apologize.
Yeah, take a deep breath and say, what's your name?
My name is Carson.
Hi.
I just had a question. I love the statement that like families and everything is like needed to make it like a giant project like your guys is, with every aspect like music, cinematography, everything to like writing and script. That's very beautiful, but when stress and motivation was low on set, how did you guys get through that together?
There was a lot of times where it was really stressful, and I think the reason for that was trying to, how do you get to the next level? I think, I don't call the people up here my crew, I call them my friends. And I think it was important for everyone to just kind of understand what direction we were going. And I think, honestly, there was a lot of times that we got caught up in the nitty-gritty, and I think there were multiple times where I stepped out and David had to find me, and we both kind of talked what's going on, why is it so stressful, and just getting your feelings out and saying them out in front of me enabled me to slowly piece together, okay, that's actually not that important. I don't know why I'm stressed out about that. That's 3 weeks from now. Why am I talking about that? And that feedback loop is really dangerous. But I think acknowledging that and accepting that will allow you to push through that and hopefully remember and remind yourself what the goal is to make something really cool.
Does anyone want to answer any sort of stressful question, how they deal with things on set? Anyone? Oh, people.
Oh, Nana says keep going. Okay, next question.
Hi, my name's Lars. I was wondering, how was your experience with shooting on the miniature sets, and what was also like your inspiration for wanting to shoot on the miniature sets?
Can't afford actual train stations. That's...
Yeah, actually. I think, is Leach here?
No, he has some family things.
Oh, okay. I know that Leach and the camera team, and even lighting too, it was really interesting because we're shooting these miniatures, right? And they're like buildings and stuff, and how do you light them? You put them out in the sun. That we were all like, oh, let's just use the thing that actually lights the real thing, which is the sun. I think that's the biggest thing that I learned. They were like, duh, Cameron, it's the sun. I was like, you can do that?
Look, same shadows.
Yeah, same shadows.
My little thing that I discovered doing miniatures on this project was that I think the how far lighting has advanced in the how advanced lighting is now, how small yet bright things can be, makes miniatures very viable as an option.
It also helps to shoot lower fidelity. Oh, here. All right, Mike. Sorry, this is our last question. This is going to take forever. I'm kidding.
Regarding the lighting, I just want to say the miniatures is really cool because small amounts of light go a long way. So it's like what normally would be a very extravagant kind of look for something, you could accomplish with 2 or 3 LED puck lights, right? So the miniatures could get really moody and really interesting with just a few more touches. Versus shooting on a big set, you're like, oh, I need a big light for that, I need a reflector for that, I need this, I need that. On the miniature set, you needed an MC, needed maybe a mirror, and that's all you needed. It was really cool to make really dramatic shots out of not that much.
That's Mike. We also should pass the mic when people introduce themselves.
I don't have a monitor. I can't hear what you're saying.
Should we have people pass the mic and just say who they are and what they did? They're gonna take too long.
That's take too long.
Okay.
Sorry.
Love you guys.
Everyone was really important on set. That's why they're right. Sorry. Next question.
Yeah, what was it like touring with Michelle Zauner and the rest of Japanese Breakfast?
Matt Dillon. It was really hard, I think, right? They're a real band. We toured. All I'll say on behalf of the touring party is we walked in and I was like, wow, the ceiling is always higher. But they took us in. They were one of the nicest crews we've ever met. and it was a dream come true. And I wonder if some of you actually are here because of that show. So thank you.
Yeah,
for
I am
showing me.
actually.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for coming back and coming to this. Shooting it over there.
Hello. Okay. My name is Cole. Thank you guys, by the way, for making such a great film. That was amazing. I wanted to ask specifically, I feel like you said, touching on friends and stuff, specifically the Briefcase Expo got me thinking about this. How much was premeditated, written by you, and then how much was just like inside jokes on set, or like people riffing on their own acts? And if possible, I would love to hear from some of the actors, like the boss, or Nana, or Caitlin, or anybody else.
Let's turn this over. What did the actors think when they saw that there was a thing called Briefcase Expo? You gotta go first.
About the briefcase?
Yeah, like when we were writing the script and we sent it to you, I'm like, you're gonna run to this building,
Yeah.
wearing this whole getup, and like you're gonna be at this Briefcase Expo and you're gonna like strangle Michael and you're gonna be like, there's too many briefcases around. What'd you think of that? Go console.
It was just normal ginger, you know. It's like it's so silly, crazy. It's like, okay, yeah, well, yeah, sounds good.
No question.
Yeah.
Yep.
No questions.
As far as it being improvised, it was more like, show up, oh wow, that's a lot of production design specifically about briefcases that I had no part in. So I showed up and it was pretty much all there. And they set up the dolly track in a full circle, and Anna and I stood back to back and had orders shouted at us to become more and more panicked and distressed. So for the most part, and I think this goes for like a lot of the sets, it's, at least for my experience, I show up and there's just like a plan in place.
Well, I wanted to also introduce you guys. This is Taylor Nicholson, the production designer. This thing would not look and feel what it is without Taylor. So, Taylor, how did you source so many briefcases?
A lot of thrifting, a lot of prop houses. But I will say, I have been waiting my whole life to turn a briefcase into a guitar, so.
Real quick story about that is I own a rectangular guitar, like already cut and plays and looks good. And I was like, I have this thing. And Taylor was like, I have this challenge deep down in my soul to get a briefcase and make a guitar.
Okay, to be fair, you didn't tell me about that, and it would have saved me a lot of time.
You know what though?
But
What's really cool is you can add guitar luthier to your resume because I pulled it out of storage and it's still in tune. Thank you. Next question.
Hi, my name is Naomi. I was wondering, I'm also a creative, and one of the big things that I've heard in my life is that limitations breed creativity, and that a lot of the times the most inspirational things come from moments where you fall short. So I'm just wondering how budget, and you've kind of touched on it a little bit, but how budget and also the sort of low-res vintage style, visual style informed the storytelling that you were making. And then also, a second question is that, would you consider this movie to be more of a movie musical or a musical movie?
The first one, because it's a short answer, it's a music movie. The second, about limitations, and I'm sorry, say the first part of your question one more time?
Yeah, just how did the limitations of budget and also the visual style inform your storytelling?
Yes. Oh, you touched on the lo-fi aesthetic and everything. I think what I'll just say quickly, I wish Taylor Leach was here because he's the guy that's kind of analog wizard. But what I know where this whole analog journey started from is how I felt when I watched certain media online preserved in an amateur way. So all VHS rips. So if you look at this camera, this is a broadcast camera from the 80s, and it looks really good, right? Like you wouldn't think. The thing is that we perceive it as something lo-fi and degraded because of how people not understanding how this new technology is going to help preserve this type of look. And so you get people not knowing the right connectors and converters, and you got this really home video style look that we all grew up with and we found really charming. And so it was our interest to kind of merge the two in a way that evoked, and I'll let David speak a little bit about how using a certain type of fidelity nowadays, just like, oh, I want that iPhone 4 quality, is now basically evoking a certain sense of nostalgia.
Yeah, I when it comes to like analog visuals and I call it nostalgic visual art. What I think what's really interesting is right now is the first time in filmmaker history where a storyteller or a visual artist can reach into the past and pull different versions, different decades of visual media to tell a story. And with Cameron and I mean, we are kind of some nerds that we like to just play with old stuff. And we kind of, that's like a really big creative drive for us to kind of build that aesthetic. But it evolved from the early music videos with like DV cameras and the things that we grew up with. And then as we kind of grew, it was like, well, what did the big guys use like earlier? So we kind of kept pushing ourselves in the technology realm. And like, I think a lot of people don't realize is that every piece of equipment that you use to capture the video signal affects its quality like a paintbrush. It's a different paintbrush. And so we went on this crazy journey with Taylor Leach, who's not here, of how to get the highest fidelity out of these tube cameras. Because everything you see online is like on a VHS tape, then uploaded online. And so we never actually, like our generation never really gets to truly see what it looked like on television for the first time and how actually nice it looked on a CRT and stuff like that. But we've seen like copies of copies of copies, and there's just something really interesting. I mean, I remember when we went to Japan and we brought that camera back, they thought we were wizards because in Japan there was like government mandatory things like turn in all of your useless equipment and we'll recycle it. So they don't have it over there anymore. And like, there was a guy who was like, so is there like a Japanese producer a part of this? And I was like, no. And he was like, okay, like how are you guys reaching so intimately into our past and bringing it to us? Like, it's just magic to them, and I think it's magic to a lot of people. As I get older, I realize what we're doing with analog video is like black magic to some people, and I'm like, the yellow goes with the yellow. But to answer your question, like nostalgic visual art is just really interesting to me because there's different decades that you can tell a story, and the Ginger Root Cinematic Universe was a perfect fit for tube cameras because it's all based in a faux 80s world.
Thank you. Next question.
Hello, hi. My name is Sabri Harris. I'm a mangaka from Riverside, California. Thank you. I was personally invited by Kevin, who's up on stage, my friend. I just also want to say real quick, you guys done an amazing job. You guys put analog artists pretty much on the map right now, like, you know, elevating it up for us, helping us in this digital type of world. I got very, very like Daikon 4 vibes from it, and I was like, oh my god, I never saw this done in like recent times now these days. So you guys pretty much took that. I'm gonna hurry up and get to the question, because the other guy already kind of answered my first question on limitations. But it would have to be on how do you guys push like a traditional like medium or like out to like the public? How you guys like promote that? Because I feel like that's been a struggle lately, especially for me. I work with traditional animation and media, and especially in a very digital world, it's like, oh, everything's gotta be crisp, everything's gotta be this and that and that. But how do you guys push that out to people? and
Yeah.
get people to see it, like actually pick up on it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think to answer it in a nutshell, I feel like the main thing you're trying to do and find out there is connection. How can you connect with certain people? And I think nowadays there is a double-edged sword of a lot of ways to find connection and a lot of ways to get lost in other people trying to find connection. Everyone has this giant megaphone nowadays and they're trying to scream as loud as they can to try to search for these connections, and you can build a following and build a fan base. I think the main thing is, and I feel like this is a very blanketed thing, but like if you don't believe in what you're doing and you don't think it's good or you're not enjoying it, then I think, you know, that's the one thing to reassess before putting something out. As long as you put something out, you resonate with it, I guarantee you, I didn't know that there would be this many people who resonated with whatever that thing was, you know? And so believing in yourself, I know it's very like movie-esque, but like believing in yourself is one. Two is short form is how you hook people, long form is how you build people. And that's all I have to say about that.
I just think you're gonna have to sometimes play the game. You know, the phone is the new television. That's all it is. And how are you gonna? You gotta put it out there. You gotta reach people. You gotta just be earnest, be honest. I think that's what resonates. Like we're developing a way. Like as soon as we feel like something's an advertisement, we swipe. Like we're almost programmed to swipe away. So you gotta figure out how to usurp and be genuine and stuff like that. And that's why I think analog art, analog video kind of like usurps that, where people are like, wait, how old is this? When was this made? Kind of vibe. How much more do you want to do this?
I said the latest it would run is another like 20 minutes.
Okay.
So we're gonna slowly pick up into second gear now. But thank you for your question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Cheyenne, and I want to say a huge appreciation to all crew for working on this movie. And Cameron, this was a little bit more directed towards you. You have a long list of credits, you know, writing, directing, acting, scoring, animating, and all of that. What do you think was the most challenging, you know, role to work on this movie?
Animating, because I had no idea how to do it before I started. That's the short form. But also, honestly, just scaling up and bringing more friends into the circle. It's really hard for me to divvy up work and like say and ask for help. Actually, I learned how to ask for help this project, and I think that was actually the hardest part. So, thank you.
Hello. My name is Karen. I want to mention that this year in Spotify Rap, Ginger Root was my top artist, and I only started listening this year.
Get on up there!
My question is, it kind of came up earlier, making friends and corporate speak like networking. How did you find your way to hop skip across to Japan and be able to film there and have people on set with you and rent a school?
So the quick answer is we did our first tour in Japan. Right after the tour, I got asked to direct a music video for a band called Chai. They're no longer a band anymore, but they're awesome. David and I asked David to film it, I directed it, and the people who were the crew on there are the people who were the crew for us. They're really the only people we knew out there that was doing videos that we worked with before. So when I said, we have to film this at a Japanese school, like we can't fake it here, it's gonna be too crazy to do that. We took the risk of me and David flying out there, trying to figure it out, and honestly, they're like a direct, we were saying like there's a direct mirror image of someone over there for every one of you guys that we were, and it was really weird. We're like, wow, it's like weirdly like so smooth working with these people, because it felt like family. And I think the content of the movie really resonated with them, and they were very gung-ho with helping us.
I'll just say the producer, his name was Fusan.
Yeah.
Fu, he went to film school in Los Angeles, and he really knew how to get down and dirty with filmmaking. Like, he was like, hey, we don't need permits, we're gonna be okay, we're just gonna film. I'm like, I like this guy, he knows how to do this.
He was the most not Japanese, like, no, we don't need to follow the rules. Like,
Yeah, he was like, no, bro.
just film it really quick. Like, all right, yeah, we're good.
But they like, we sent them locations weeks in advance. They went and scouted, they sent us photos, they gave us options.
We would send them that previs so they knew exactly what was going on. A lot of communication and a lot of pre-production went a long way.
And the one thing I'll just say about someone who doesn't speak Japanese, working on a Japanese film set, everyone's Japanese, and I have no idea what's going on. The coolest thing that I experienced was making visual art and like movies and a camera, there's a universal language that happens where like when the frame is up and someone's standing in it and or the camera's moving, everyone knows what to do. They just like, it's like an unspoken language. I remember the gaffer, like we just started developing a shorthand where we'd be like more, less, more, like for light and stuff like that. And like it'd just go up and people would just know what to do. And it was just like, it was a universal language, and it was like, it was one of the coolest things I got to witness.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. My name's KK, longtime listener, first-time questioner. Just want to ask, as someone who's also a multimedia artist, or as I like to tell my doctor, a content creator, I just want to know what you suggest or what kind of energy you go with when asking friends and family for help. I'm someone who has a bit of a pride complex and like to do a lot of things myself, between directing, acting, performing, all of that, similar to what you do, Cameron. So just any kind of advice you can give. I have a really awesome support system, but I'm really awful at asking them to help me.
I asked for help, and that helped me. And I think I also have this toxic trait where like, I'll just do it myself.
I hate it.
I know, he hates it. He pulls me aside, he's like, I'll do it, like it's fine. I'm like, no! But I think relieving yourself of that feeling, and if saying that you have a really good support system, trust them. And also like, you won't know if you don't ask. You won't know if you don't try. And I think there's a lot of just like, trust in all these people up here. And I think, you know, myself, I'm speaking for myself, I was the first barrier that nothing would happen and nothing get done. But once I was like, I need a village to help me, these people made it happen. And I think that was the first step in making something like SHINBANGUMI.
I think when it comes to like the hard numbers, like money, you just have to be honest. Like you just gotta be like, hey, I'm doing this thing, do you like it? I don't have money to pay you, but do you want to be a part of it? I could use your help. And then it grows from there. All these people practically worked for free all before SHINBANGUMI, when we were just starting. When Cameron and I would make music videos, they'd get like 1,000 views on YouTube, and we were stoked because it was like, yes, 1,000 views! And then all of a sudden Loretta popped off, and that's kind of like what started this rocket taking off. But everyone here, practically, they were a part of that family from the very beginning, just being like, we like what you're doing, we like the music, thanks for making good music, and we want to be a part of this. That's all it was. And you just have to be honest. Like, I know Drake here has worked for free for long, so hire him, but you just gotta be honest, and you gotta like take care of them. Like, if you can't pay them, feed them well. You know, like that's my motto. You know. Anyways,
give them rides, drive them, pay for their gas if you can. Listen to, you know, their life problems. You know, lend an ear, whatever. And if they lend you something and they do something for you, return a favor. It goes both ways, and that's how you build, I think, a better community for making creative things around you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Max. This is a simple question, really. I wanted to ask, how did you make the robot from the film?
We're
over here.
Wait, you're up here. Get up here.
Oh, wait, sorry. We don't have enough time. Do you want to just shout your answer?
Wait, say that again?
How'd you make it?
How did you make the
Oh,
robot?
well, first off, we got the call from lovely David, so thank you, David, for reaching out
Well,
to us.
I did a lot of his talking, so.
Him too, but we first got just the basic 2D sketch from him, and it was just made in a couple of weeks with foam patterning fabrication, 3D printing, carving, painting, and texting him a bunch, asking, hey, you like this color? Yes, no.
Spot on.
And we showed up to set with it all done, and it was super amazing. Sorry, that was really fast. Let's get through.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna say my name, not for class. I'm totally not a stalker, just so you know.
Why are you looking at me?
First question, are we gonna get those jumpsuits, coveralls as merchandise? Because I will buy it.
No. Sorry.
Damn, okay. Second question, this is for my sister. I don't know why she didn't come up here. Love you. How do you get your hair so like beautiful.
Fun fact, I'm losing it. But this is not sponsored. I'm taking minoxidil and finasteride. I wash it twice. Once every time I shower, I wash it twice every other day.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
And then I saved it for last. I didn't legally change my name. It's just a coincidence. Two coincidences. We both like trains. We're both named David.
I can remember that. Good name.
But when we were, I already forgot what the hell it was called. The Lodge Room. You didn't answer my question, bro.
I didn't. What you asked me a question at the lodge?
What your favorite locomotive was?
Oh, I don't know. I appreciate trains. Okay, 6 tons of steel. Moving.
He's a fake fan. He's a fake fan.
Well, like hell, I'm not gonna tell you a specific model number, but I cried at the Sacramento Train Museum. Okay?
Yeah, Sacramento.
All right, mine is the Sobu Center, the JR line. That's also the yellow one. Okay, next question.
I drove down here from San Francisco at 6. I'm really back right now.
Good to see you again.
Yeah, of course. 2 questions. One, production side. Was there ever going to be a plan to film CM in the SHINBANGUMI movie, or was it just like cut for time because it's only like 49 seconds long?
A fun fact about that song is they are real voice actors that I grew up listening to. It's the guy did some stuff with One Piece, and the girl did some stuff with Sailor Moon. And so timing-wise, I wanted to like film them or get someone to like lip sync it, but like with their schedules, because they're like really famous voice actors, I just had like literally like 2 hours to get them to do like the Juban TV commercial and the CM track or whatever. I wanted to make something, but it was really difficult to logistically like.
And it was online, right? You did it like over Zoom?
All through Zoom and everything. Shout out to my friend at J-Wave for hooking that up. But yeah, that's why it wasn't a song, but we used it as background music for like the introduction stuff. So yeah.
Oh, sure. And then second questions we have with somebody from the Discord. They want to know if Kimiko and Makoto are related.
I think so. I didn't get that deep into my own lore. It was just recycling names. So whatever the Discord wants to believe. Next question.
Hi, my name is Alex Zatomer. I just want to say first, huge congratulations on SHINBANGUMI. You guys all did a great job. My question actually pertains to the first teaser that you released for it, just the Meet You in the Galaxy animation. I remember at the time being really excited as like a professional animator to see, you know, more independent people kind of like diving in to animation as a medium, and it was really cool to see how you utilized it here. I guess my question is, do you plan on doing any future work or future music videos utilizing animation?
I would love to. I think I've always had a dream of making like my own cartoon or making my own anime. The reason why it's so difficult, the reason why the thing's only like 40 seconds long, which is even long for like hand-drawn animation, is because I never learned how to draw. I just learned how to animate before I learned how to draw. So I'm learning how to draw first, and then I'll get back into animation. So probably, I don't know, in the next 9 years. Anyway, but thank you.
Yeah, if you need a teacher, hit me up.
Thank you. Over there.
Hello, my name is Nana. I am currently...
Wait a second. You can answer this question.
So, I currently just finished animating my first season of my own anime, and
Congratulations.
for you, how long did it take you to animate those 40 seconds?
You know, I kicked into high gear because I got a deadline from my manager.
Yeah.
Thanks, Daniel Asif. No, he really pushed the pressure so I could actually finish it. I think I worked 11 hours a day for, I want to say 3 weeks straight. And I think I took 2 days off. I got pretty good at the shortcuts. And I learned that I really am good at characters facing to the right. Because I'm left-handed. I also realized that looking at references is okay. You don't have to think about it and just out of your brain. Who knew?
Hello, Cameron. This is a question for you. I'm Ian.
Hey, Ian.
I'm an aspiring musician, and I look up to you and your music. I just want to know, where did you start, like one of your songs? Where did you start initially?
He taught me guitar. He taught me Smoke on the Water. No, I'm just kidding.
Actually, wait, I just want to. Greg, what was that like? What was teaching him guitar like for the first time?
Within a month, he was better than me. That's how good I am, or that's how good he is.
Side note, sometimes I do still go over to Greg's house and we play Bruce Springsteen songs. So just because the only one seems to know how to sing. Anyway, the three of us were in the same, thank you. The three of us were in the same like high school of rock style program.
Actually, our teachers are here. Where are they?
Yeah, Michael Simmons, Jamie Guy. Mr. Knight, I have your name tag. Like, your name tag dropped somewhere in the foyer. I have your name tag, so I'll have to give that back to you. But we had this program in schools, after school, it was basically School of Rock, and it was just like, if you guys want to play at the local bar, like learn a bunch of covers, learn a couple Beatles songs. If the flake of a keyboard player doesn't show up, the bass player, you gotta learn keys, you gotta like do that. So that was a big part of how we learned how to play in front of people. In terms of writing music, we were fortunate where that program had like, you know, a couple computers with keyboards, and you know, during lunch break you could just like poke around. And I think that curiosity of wanting to make something with any type of tools, like, you know, I'm gonna say, you know, it was a little outdated back then, but it's okay now, it really helped spark that curiosity. And I think, you know, that's how I got my start. This is where I met these blokes right here. And we've, you know, played music ever since, so.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I just wanted to shout out Mr. Stitch. He's my history rock and roll teacher right now. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Stitch.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, very cool. Proud teacher, proud teacher.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
Next.
Hello, my name is Sam, and my question is mostly towards the cast, because I think that's a lovely ensemble you got right there, very charismatic cast all around. And you know, y'all mentioned that, you know, several have worked in previous projects and whatnot, but I'm wondering how they ended up at your doorstep, and if y'all want to talk about what the casting process was like for that, I'm very curious.
Should we put them through it? We'll start with Michael.
Yeah, say a real quick, how'd you get involved in this?
Nepotism.
And the fact of being really rich with friendship. Okay.
Well, okay, well, I was just a fan, and I was just like, he was looking for Japanese people, and I was like, oh yeah, I can act, and I can do this and do that, and there was like other story, but I'm not gonna tell. Yeah. Just don't talk to me.
Am I like one of the old ones? Oh. They were looking for a Japanese anchor. There was an audition. The script was kind of good. It was like, it was crazy though. Like, and then I used to be an anchor, so I was like, is it okay if I just correct this and record on my own? And that was, I guess, convincing enough that they were looking for a guy anchor, but I got the part, so. Richard. But yeah.
Cameron and I met orientation week of college, and we're friends. And I also do art department in real life for my real job, so.
I met David because he was my high school film teacher. So I'm one of like 10 people up here that were students of David, which is crazy. So we weren't kidding when we said friends and family. But specifically how I got casted was I was at Costco eating a hot dog. And I remember it was like 2 summers ago. And I got a text from David and he said, you want to be in a Ginger Root music video? And I went, sure. So.
We really vetted them, as you can tell. Who else? Oh.
The CEO.
Nanabi-chan hooked me up.
Oh yeah. Can you do the evil laugh?
Hi, my name is Kevin, and I found Cameron.
I also
because-
just wait. I want to say Kevin's the reason we're all here, so let's thank Kevin for that. Thank you.
I watched the Loretta video. Cameron and I have the same last name, and the rest is history. Answered a casting call, and now I'm here.
Hi everybody, I'm Alex, and I've been a fan since Weather, and...
Alex is also in charge of the Gingerroot unofficial Discord. He's one of the key members there, so.
Yeah, and I met David at the show. I went to every Bay Area show since Weather came out, and then we just became friends, and since then he was like, do you want to be in the music video? And I was like, yeah, all right. So, and then now I'm here.
Hi, I'm Saki. I was Kobayashi in the music video. My hair is different, so you might not recognize me. How I got involved? I think it was like Ginger would Twitter, and he was looking for extra actors, talents, and I was like, I can do extras. And then it turned out like this way. I even don't know how it happened.
Well, actually, I remember, so we did a casting call for background, and Cameron and I decided we only wanted the fans to be a part of it, because they would know the assignment. We don't want just strangers to come on board, because they'd be like, what is going on? So I remember when Saki came on, she came in the most perfect outfit, and Cameron like, this one's a good one. Like this one's gonna be really good. This one gets the assignment. So then we did the first music video, and then we needed to make the CEO's assistant, and it's like, why not have Saki come and do it? Because she already had the outfit, she knows the assignment, she's just perfect for the role, and she can act.
We're gonna take 2 more questions after this little tidbit. Sorry, everyone, we can't answer, but we've got a time thing. But what I want to say about this whole thing of making Shinbangumi is the script was not done when we were ready to film it. We were building the plane as we flew. So like that's why we're like, Saki came, like for that example, like Saki came to the Juban TV studio, we're like, oh, this is great or whatever, and then halfway through, when we were filming Better Than Monday, but we were writing Only You, we're like, okay, but like, what if there was like an assistant? And what if like the assistant like helps the manager? And like, we're like, who's gonna do that? And we had to like really do backwards puzzling of the whole thing. And so like when Only You was filming, we were writing for Giddy Up. It was all very like, you know. And so, yeah, that's a few tidbit that when you watch this, as the songs were coming out, like when they were coming onto Spotify, we'd be like, okay, that went really well, but what happens next? And so it wasn't making a movie, honestly, this was like making a TV show, and seeing how the viewers reacted to it, and we learned a lot, and I don't want to make it this way again.
Correct.
It's way too stressful. Oh my God.
I will just say, like, if anyone here is an actor or an aspiring actor or whatever, when you show up on time, and when you show up and you bring your best A game, you bring your best outfit, you bring your best attitude, it shows. We see that. That is something that means something to us, because we're trying to make something, and when someone comes in and they put so much care and effort into it, it's like, let's keep using them, they get it, let's go, go, go.
I just want to say a quick note, sorry, like I wish I could talk about, there's so many memories, maybe we'll just do a memory podcast or something about this tour, but I remember specifically, Nana didn't like her performance in the No Problems music video, and she was really hard on herself, but she was like, there's another scene where she has to steal the tape with the CEO and everything, and she, like, excuse my French, like fucking knocked it out of the park. To the point where David not knowing, like everyone on the crew not knowing the language, everyone had goosebumps because of how well she acted. And I think that, I just wanted to highlight that and say like everyone else involved too, and everyone who was in front of the screen and behind the screen did that, and they showed up every day with their A game, and that's why Shinbangumi was able to happen. So I just wanted to highlight that as we're going down memory lane. 2 more questions and then we're out of here.
My name's Manuel, and I wanted to ask, can we do like a double question?
A double question,
Yeah.
yes.
Sorry.
You still get your question, but double question, yeah, go.
My question was, if you could redo everything, what would you change? And what would you
So when I was 4,
Okay.
For the actors who are on set, did you take any of the props home?
Oh, ante up, guys.
I think Natsuko took her blue suit home. We let her keep that, right? Yeah, you do have, and the white one. Yeah, you do have that. That's okay, it's fine. I have the manager's red jacket, but that's actually my sister's jacket. I was like, Amber, I need like a jacket. She was like, okay, what? And I was like going through, I'm like, this is work. And now it's mine now. So anyway, and then I think that was the question, right?
Any other actors have anything? Did you steal anything?
Greg has his jumpsuit, and he had everyone in the crew and cast sign it at the end. That was really cool.
Where is it?
And you're not wearing it, but we had it in the car for you. Don't wrinkle. Okay. Anyway. Oh, it's right there. Everyone look back at my dad. He's really
Did anyone steal anything? I mean, take anything home with them? No. Yeah.
I don't know.
I have the paper with Nana's face says no entry.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Could I give you the art poster I made? I freehand.
Sure.
Wow. What was his first question?
If I can redo everything.
Oh, yeah. What would you
Honestly, book more time. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here. Okay, I promise. That was just like that would be a really cool way to end it, because I'm like, what would you redo? Anyway, okay, last question.
Hey.
Hi, what's your question?
I'm Marley. I wanted to know kind of what you were going through, what the mindset was when you were going into City Slicker, going from your aggressive elevator soul into making this city pop adjacent thing that kind of snowballed into you called it a music movie?
Yeah. Coming into City Slicker, COVID just started. And so we were off the road, we couldn't tour anymore, our tour got canceled and everything. And I had all this chance to just make and experiment with stuff I was into at the time. And I was trying to learn Japanese, so I was using immersion, and I was just watching a bunch of stuff and listening to a bunch of music, and it really took an effect on me. And I wanted to try to basically write a love letter back to this time period for helping me get through COVID. And that's what came of City Slicker.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the visit. Thank you. Sorry guys, we couldn't get to all your questions. The lobby will still be open for a little bit if you want to take pictures and everything. Thank you so much for being here. Another round of applause for everyone else here. Thank you guys. Thank you every single one of you guys. The project would not be what it is without them. Thank you to David and the Aratani Theater, and Bernard and Yuki and everyone for helping us put this together. Again, drive on safe, and the lobby's open for another 30 minutes, and then we're going to kick y'all out. So thank you guys.